Hello, it's nice to have you here, Dr. Tracey Straker. She is a professor of anesthesiology at Albert Einstein School of Medicine, and she is the president of the Society for Head and Neck Anesthesia. Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me here.
For those of us who may not know you very well, would you mind giving us a brief description about yourself?
Sure. So, as you mentioned, I am a professor of anesthesiology at Albert Einstein College of Medicine, and I work as an attending anesthesiologist at Montefiore Medical Center in Bronx, New York. I'm the director of the generalist anesthesia service there, and also now the acting director of the DE&I committee in my department. I also serve as the chair of the Diversity and Inclusion Task Force for the Society of Education and Anesthesiology, and I am also the sitting president for the Society of Head and Neck Anesthesia.
Mm-hmm. It's great to really have you on our talking to you today. You're very accomplished, and I love to learn more about you and how you got there. As an outsider looking in, you've had to overcome a lot of cultural, gender, and or race differences. What advice would you give someone who is having the same challenges?
I acknowledge the intersectionality that I have and will always have.
Mm-hmm.
And, a lot of that has changed along the trajectory of my career. Starting out earlier in my career, I honestly will admit that I downplayed a lot of the racial issues that were surrounding because I felt like if I put myself out there, that it was going to be a deterrent to me moving forward, that people would see me as a troublemaker or someone who was an agitator. And so I really tried to keep it on the low. But as I started to get older and establish myself, and I brought credibility and validity to my name and to my credentials, I started to really speak out now, where I'm to the point in my career where I'm comfortable in myself and my beliefs that I speak plainly what it is. I admit that society has now made it much more open for you to be able to do so. But when I started my career 20 years ago, that was definitely not the thing. But now I speak plainly and I own my intersectionality, and I don't let it stop me, and I don't let it get in the way of what it is I want to achieve. And I'll call it out if
Mm-hmm.
someone is using that
Mm-hmm.
against me.
Mm-hmm. 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 Because of the change of times, the political climate, and a lot of cultural things that have changed in the United States, it
Yeah,
allowed us to be a little bit more open about these things. At least there's a door opening, I feel,
yeah.
especially with now also a lot of institutions are having like diversity, equity, inclusion committees, and so at least it's more open.
And oftentimes we get caught up that, it's race and it's gender.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's that too, but it's also about sexual alliance. It's about disability and ability. It's about ageism, religion. So, yes, gender and race are the big faces of diversity and equity and inclusion, but there's so many others and individuals along the way who are in that struggle for DE&I as well.
Anesthesia as a field, and us as anesthesiologists and the American Society of Anesthesia, how can we make change to maybe improve upon and making our specialty a little bit more inclusive of all gender, races, religions, etc.
Well, I think, first of all, we're approaching it at multiple areas, but the top down is the big thing. I'm pleased to see that the ASA and component societies like SCA, SPA, SNAC, they have all embraced DE&I, and they have made it core components of their society. And they are actually indoctrinating these components into the way they conduct their business. And so from the top down, it is sending a message. And at the level of the institutions and the departments, once again, it's got to be from the top down within those environments as well, because your leaders have to be leaders. They have to set the tone for the environment for the people that are under them. And then, of course, there are the grunt people like me who are speaking locally, we're speaking regionally, we're speaking nationally and internationally as well. So it's coming from all angles. And let's not forget, now it's being acknowledged by the ABA. The American Board of Anesthesiology is going to be having DE&I on their written board examinations. So we're also going to be teaching our residents as well. So I think anesthesia as a whole is working from multiple different areas.
That's great for our specialty. And it's reassuring to see that our society, our big umbrella societies, are taking this seriously and making change.
Yeah.
It's really nice to see that. As a person of color, what advice would you give to other people of color entering anesthesia and how to further their careers, as there's not many of us in anesthesia?
So I would say that a mentor does not have to look like you. A sponsor does not have to look like you. And don't be color blinded when you're looking for people to help you. Help comes in all shapes, forms, and colors, and take advantage of the people that are extending their hands to you. Also, you can have more than one mentor simultaneously. You will have very many people mentoring you simultaneously. Take advantage of everyone at all times who's willing to help you.
Yes, it's important to take advantage of opportunities that are presented to you. And you're right, anyone who's willing to give you a chance, then
Yeah,
just take it. It's been fabulous talking to you.
thank you. Same here. Thank you, Allison, for involving me in your project. I appreciate it.
Thanks.